Back on Hoverworld, Formula 2 action on the Miami River in Troy, Ohio. I'm Dave Lamont along with Michael Wolf. And Michael, we found out during the break that Bob Wint is in a bit of trouble in this race.
Incredible bad luck for Bob. Not only did he have problems with his craft early on in the race, but now we've learned that Bob missed one of these buoys. You're looking right here at this red buoy in the water. He missed it, did not go back up and pick it up, so that's cost him a lap, Dave.
All right, Bill Martin is still the leader. Bill Mad Dog Martin and Craig Throttleman Throstle, two of the more all-out. There you see Bob Wint now, but he is a lap down. He had been leading this race. We found out earlier about that penalty that Michael just described to you. So pretty much it's going to be Martin and Throstle now battling it out for the lead. Rick Sanda is still in contention, and so is Ron Crash Molina. But it's Martin and Throstle, and they've been around each other this whole race.
I should mention now, while we're watching these craft in this long straightaway, that these Formula 2s are capable of hitting 50 miles per hour during that straight stretch.
There is the water-to-land transition that the hovercraft can make so smoothly, unless you get caught right behind one of them. Then it makes it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more hairy, as we see Bill Martin, who previously has finished second and third, so he's been around the lead the whole time. Bob Wint had won the first two of these three races. They're going 7 laps here, and we're getting near the finish.
And it's just amazing watching the control these flyers have over these craft. You watched how tight that turn was, swinging out the tail on that craft and using the thrust from it to keep it right, that nose right in there on the turn.
And there you see also from Martin and Throstle a good example of how to pass those buoys, and the thing that Bob Wint failed to do. So again, if you pass the buoy the wrong way, you got to go back. If you don't go back, you're penalized, and that's Bob Wint there in third place, but not in third place in the race. You see him third overall, but he is behind. Nice job there by Martin on the transition as they get near that bridge that Ron Crash Molina knows a little too well.
Quite possibly. I understand it cost him a cracked helmet. Fortunately, that was about it.
Well, hovercraft is very, very safe racing. This is not a sport with a lot of disaster in its history.
And this is amazing to watch this, watch them swinging them around. They've already picked their direction. They're coming up on the shore. And this is a home-built, looks like a much larger craft, and you can see the cost that extracts when he swings into those turns.
It's an awkward-looking thing, but Bob Wint done a fine job of keeping control on it. Right now, it is still Martin in front in an orange and blue craft. You're looking at Throstle and Wint right here. Throstle in the blue, Wint in the much larger craft. And he's trying not to get caught behind that thrust. If he does, he's history, and he passes Throstle. So Bob Wint making an effort at it here anyway. He did win the first 2 races and has a lot going for him.
Well, here we go, turning into this next transition from the water back onto the land. Little jockeying for position there.
Yeah, Wint is cut in front of Throstle again. We also now seeing some of the slower craft being lapped here as we get near the end of this 7-lap race, the third in the Formula 2. And it looks like Wint has dunked out again, his second mechanical problem.
And here's somebody wrestling with one of those turns right there. And now you can see in the grass, you can watch the blast from those props. So you've got to realize you've got a couple of 100 pounds of force of air coming out of those vents in the back. And that's really keeping some of the racers from getting too close to some of the others, the ones ahead.
I should point out that blue craft, there you see, there is Craig Throstle just now getting into your picture in second place. It is still Mad Dog Martin in first. That blue craft he passed was not Throstle. So Martin has not lapped Throstle at all. It's been a close battle. Even when Wint was leading, these two guys were almost attached to each other.
What we're watching here is we're starting to watch the leaders start to lap some of the slower racers.
Getting it around and near 50 miles an hour. Now go through a couple turns here, getting ready to make another transition very shortly onto land as it's Bill Martin and Craig Throstle. We're also going to have action in Formula S and Formula 1, and we'll see perhaps one of the top drivers in the country, Super D Dennis Miller, a little bit later on.
Dave, here's a good shot you can see in this particular craft that's had a lot of them replaced. Those segmented bags that are part of the skirt that runs around the hovercraft, those bags direct the air down beneath the hovercraft and help support it.
There's the checkered flag, and it's going to go to Bill Mad Dog Martin, the winner of the third and final of the Formula 2 races. Mad Dog Martin is the winner. Craig Throstle is taking second place, and Martin celebrating his victory here on the Miami River in Troy, Ohio. And the victory gives Bill Martin 20 points, and we'll see in a second how important that is to him. Craig Throstle finishing second. Third place went to Rick Sanda. Fourth place, Ron Molina. Chris Fitzgerald was fifth, and way down in sixth. Only 10 points for Bob Wint because of that 1-lap penalty. And how painful was that penalty for Wint? That's how painful. He finishes in third in the meet overall. 4 behind Mad Dog Martin. Craig Throstle takes second, and a very steady Ron Molina finishing in fourth place. So Bob Wint missed the meet when he missed the buoy.
And the national point champ in Formula 2 is Craig Throttleman Throstle. He's finishing with 431 points. Mad Dog Bill Martin with 390, and Ron Molina finished third overall. Coming up, Formula 1 action, unlimited horsepower and anything goes designs. It's all ahead on Hoverworld.